Tarte Cosmetics' recent influencer trip is all the rage right now. If you haven't heard, Tarte Cosmetics recently flew out a number of influencers, apparently up to 50, reportedly first class to a private resort in Dubai. And there's a lot of different opinions about this. From how Tarte was even able to afford all of this, to how tone deaf a lot of people are pointing out this all really seems for these influencers' audiences.
Travel with me to go to Dubai for a Tarte brand trip. They laid down mattresses on our seats so that we could recline them like a bed. I was so comfy on this flight. Tarte really hooked it up. This was so nice. Everyone gets their own villa on the trip. My jaw dropped when I saw this room. I've never seen anything like it. It was so decked out, and the room alone was just insane. I just cannot believe that I'm here. And each room has their own private pool. Like, what?
I'm in Dubai with Tarte. Let's go ride Jeeps in the desert. So we left the hotel and arrived at the place where we were going to ride the Jeeps. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. They weren't really Jeeps. They were more like ATV buggy type things. This was such a fun experience. The desert was insane. I felt like I was in another world.
Even though at first glance this might have seemed like another one of those influencer brand trips that we've seen in the past for influencers to, you know, promote brand products, this one was just off the charts for a lot of people on social media. A TikTok video from Jack Mac Barstool went viral within 24 hours where he decided to investigate Tarte's trip to Dubai, mainly because he, along thousands of others, were questioning how this whole trip was even possible. We're talking about Dubai, which is not cheap at all. It's one of the most expensive places to take a trip to, let alone take a trip of over 50 influencers. Check out what he had to point out, because it's actually kind of scary towards the end.
There's something going on with this Tarte trip, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Now, for the influencers that went on this trip, the ladies, I don't blame them, go ahead, get your bag. But the economics of this trip do not make sense. Let's start with the trip there, okay? All of these ladies, and there was a lot of them, all flew first class on Emirates to Dubai. They didn't go to LA, they didn't go to Miami, they flew Emirates first class to Dubai. Do you understand how much money that costs? And then on top of it, they all got to bring a +1. If you want to fly first class from New York City to Dubai, it's going to cost you around $22,000, all right? Now, on top of that, all of them had a +1, so that's $44,000 just on the trip alone. Where are they staying? Oh, Ritz-Carlton. And this is one of those hotels you can't even find how much money it costs to stay there. You have to like call somebody because it's like they know rich people ain't booking it on Expedia. And they're all staying in these phenomenal villas too. Like it's not, they aren't suites, they're villas. How much money do you think one of these villas goes for a night? I'm gonna say $5K. That's probably being generous. So for each influencer, it's $5,000 a night. They'll probably stay for 3 nights, $15,000 for the hotel alone, then $45,000 for the flights, Ubers, whatnot. So you're about $65,000 in the whole. That's Harvard education, by the way, for one influencer. And then you times that by 10. And also, we're talking about people that don't get out of bed for nothing, all right? These aren't nobodies. This is Alex Earl. You think Alex Earl probably is getting like a Patrick Mahomes contract for just going. Where are they getting this money from? And then you find out Tarte was just this company that some woman came up with in her apartment in New York City that was built on credit cards in a dream. Guess what? Credit cards in a dream don't get you to Dubai first class on Emirates with a +1, I'll tell you that much.
A corporate event planner on TikTok also chimed in to break down the financial side of Tarte's decision on this trip and how it made no sense. But who knows, because maybe Dubai was also sponsoring the trip and other tourist attractions or other companies that were partnering with Tarte, which people are assuming as well, because even with Tarte's net worth and revenue, it would still be a huge amount of money they'd be taking on just for this trip alone.
Everyone's talking about the Tarte brand trip that brought a bunch of TikTok influencers to Dubai and why it financially makes zero sense. Actually, a corporate event planner. I do this for a living, so I do see the financial side of events and doing brand trips. They went to Dubai. They all took first class Emirates, which is about $22,000 for a plane ticket. And there was about 20 girls and they each got a +1. The villas they're staying in Dubai are so expensive, you can't even see how much they cost online. A bunch of free stuff. They went to a bird sanctuary, they went dirt biking, ATVing, whatever. Amazing dinners. Food and decor for my events is about $1 million. so I can't imagine how much all of this costs. Tarte's revenue is about 75 mil a year. Low end, probably 12 mil.
So not only are people skeptical and confused about this whole trip, but some aren't being afraid to point out how tone deaf this seems on Tarte's end, as well as some of the influencers who were lavishly promoting the trip to their audience, which let me tell you, while some people were happy for them on this trip and that they had the opportunity, for a lot of people, they just flat out said that this was tone deaf and not relatable at all.
Hi guys, I'm at the Tarte Dubai trip and there's just a few things I want to show you that's so cool around my room. So when you first walk into the villa, they laid out all these products they gave us for free, and I'm feeling so blessed for this new hairbrush.
Other TikTok users have accused these luxurious brand trips to constantly just be out of touch with other problems going on in the world, like inflation, vast layoffs in the workforce, and the anxiety of a 2023 recession on the way. There's even a Reddit post that's been floating around titled, "Is this Tarte Cosmetics trip sus? Like, how does Tarte have this much budget to spend on influencers? Do you think it's all write-offs?" And here's what some people had to say under this discussion. Giant cosmetics trip going to Dubai, who seemingly pays people to provide good publicity. Seems pretty mutual. I could be way off, but I don't think Tarte is the only one funding this trip. If I had to guess, I'd say it's a touristic marketing ploy on Dubai's behalf. We've seen how much money they throw at sports leagues and players to go over there. An influencer trip would be chump change. I'm pretty sure the UAE is giving Tarte some incentives to make the trip much more affordable and accessible. Their government is spending an obscene amount of money to grow tourism and make Dubai a premier destination. The UAE have known about climate change for a hot minute and have actively been working to develop their soft cultural power and diversify future revenue streams for when their sovereign wealth funds can no longer be fortified by oil money. The United Arab Emirates Tourism Board is definitely somehow involved. They have a giant budget to promote Dubai. I wouldn't be surprised if they're paying for the hotel, activities, and even flights. Other people all over TikTok, though, are saying how they don't even know some of these influencers that Tarte has chosen to be a part of this trip, which kinda wouldn't really be a smart marketing strategy. Others adding on about the whole entire trip, saying things like, Tarte was bought by Kose, a very large multinational Japanese cosmetics company, $300 million plus in revenue. This was likely part of a larger marketing budget. Anyways, guys, I definitely want to know what you think about this entire Dubai trip with Tarte and all these influencers. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love to hear. I love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.